had a chance to really review the film. In the game, whenever you play Kansas State, I mentioned it last week. This team has got a personality that's pretty predictable in a lot of ways, and very prideful team, very prideful coaching staff. And, we got their best shot, and they were very prepared for the game. We had an opportunity, and we didn't respond in some areas. I was very proud of our team, how we responded and came back and fought back in the third quarter, and really put ourselves in position to play for the game in the second half, and just didn't finish the deal. We didn't play well enough in the fourth quarter. We didn't convert on some fourth downs. It was a really interesting game on how the field position played out and how the down and distance. I mean, we had a number of 3rd and 1s and 4th and 1s in the game. And we just weren't able to convert on some of them in the fourth quarter when we had to. And then we couldn't stop them in the run game the last quarter to get the ball back. Had a lot of guys play hard, had some really good individual efforts, but overall, collectively, we didn't respond as a team. And that's something that we have to do. I started off this season kind of explaining to our team, how the games are going to be this year. There's going to be a lot of back and forth. There's going to be points in games where we have to respond properly to be able to take advantage and to win. And we didn't do that Saturday versus a good team and a good environment. And so we're on a bye week now, back to work today. The 24-hour rules in place. So we have to get back to work, and this is a bye week for us. So we have some very specific things that we try to get accomplished. We'll practice. We practice today. We'll practice Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Our coaches will go on the road on Wednesday, and the coordinators and I will handle practice Thursday. We'll get all over the country to recruit some of the top kids that we're really looking for in this class, get a chance to see them practice, go to their high schools, get to see them play Friday night. The other thing we do on the bye week is we'll self-scout ourselves and really look at some of the things we've been doing, things we're doing well, things we need to improve on, and also maybe change some tendencies as we move into the second quarter of the season. And so really important that we get better. I have impressed at it with our kids. We have to improve this week, and also got a number of guys that are banged up. We played 3 physical games, and we'll have to see how they come out of this week, but we really need to heal up and get ready for a big game versus Boise next week.
All right, are there any questions for Coach?
Coach, having gone through the first quarter of the season, just your overall thoughts collectively on the first 3 games y'all have gone through.
No, I think these have been good games. Obviously, we played 2 difficult road games, and we understood our schedule. We knew we were going to play on the road early, and they're great environments. It was fun environment Saturday. Great for our kids to play in front of a good college football crowd where there's a great band and great student involvement. And it was a warm day there in Kansas, but great atmosphere. That stadium, they've really done a lot of amazing things to that stadium over the years, and really enclosed it and improved the locker rooms and with the jumbotrons and the band. They do a great thing with their student section. They, about an hour and a half before the game, they allow the students to come in and they sprint for their seats. And that's something that they've really built there. And something I think other people can learn from. And they put the band behind the visiting team, all those things. And so I just think they do it the right way. And we've learned a lot as a team. We've had some of our new players get involved with our team and make some plays. And we have to keep incorporating those new players over the course of the season. The Bentley Sanders, the Isaiah Sessimas, those kids got to become more and more a part of what we do. And I think we're like a lot of teams. We have to continue to improve and get better week to week. We have areas that we really are looking at to get better at, and we're really going to work on those this week.
What is the biggest thing you want your group to take away from that loss?
It's disappointing, Chris. The one I think, as a guy that's been around a little bit, you try to, use your experience to share with your team. And, part of playing in games like this is understanding the opportunity. They just don't come down. It doesn't come by very often. And so you have to be prepared and ready for the moment. And, we didn't start the game very well. I was disappointed on how we started defensively, and then on offense, how we started the first couple of drives. And, and I told the kids, this game was scheduled several years ago. We knew we were going to play it, just like we're going to play Iowa next year. And we're going to play USC in 2 years. I mean, we're pretty sure what those environments are like. So, it shouldn't be a surprise to our kids, even though we don't play in that kind of environment very often. And we just have to handle it better. Good football teams, we got to start fast. We can't give up big plays on defense, and we can't get penalties on offense and have miss errant snaps on a first drive. We have to start better. And so, we have to handle that more maturely. I think all these experience help our team get better. And, we've got several more difficult road games coming up. So the bottom line is we have to get better. We have to improve. I'd love to see us run the ball more effectively, and we're going to work on that. And obviously after Saturday, we have to stop the run defensively. That's got to be something we do a better job of. And I'd like to see us play more fundamentally sound on special teams. And so those are my 3 areas that we really are working on this week. And we're going to work on getting better at those.
What are your thoughts on the timing of this bye pretty early in the season? Do you like
Yeah.
that, or do you prefer it later?
I actually don't mind an early season bye. You kind of get a chance to play. We play some really physical games in our first month. And I kind of like having it right now, to be honest with you. I think my first year, we played 5 games in September, and it was like the season was half over with the first month, and it was just very difficult. Because we're trying to improve right now. We're trying to play games, learn from our mistakes, and get better. And, I really like, after we start to get midway through, I like to keep playing, because then you start getting in a rhythm. So I'm excited about our bye. I think it comes at a good time for us. Carson's still healing up. Toe was really banged up last week. Elijah Cooks. We have some guys that are pretty sore, and so like to get our guys healthy and get them running good and get them back for this next ball game.
Coach,
do you
you've
feel like you guys
mentioned.
were kind of playing?
Oh, go ahead, Shannon.
Coach, do you feel like you guys were kind of playing catch up there for a little while, just because they did get off to that score first so early on? I mean, did that kind of bring the tempo down, you think, for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, whenever you play on the road in a good environment like that, you don't want to give them a big play early just to get their crowd all excited. And so, I think the most difficult part for us is we're an offense that likes to be on the field and run a lot of plays. And when the other team is able to run the ball as effectively as they were Saturday, we don't get it. And so it's hard on us offensively. And so we just have to do a better job getting off the field. And the other disappointing thing about the game is they were playing with a backup quarterback. We never really stressed them. They didn't have to throw the football. And we have to do a better job of that when we're playing a team that loses their starting quarterback. Everybody in the stadium knows they're trying to run the ball, and we're not able to stop them. And so we got to do better in those situations and play the run better and get off the field and give our offense a chance.
Coach, without giving too much away, what are you working on during practice this week, and how much of that is the run defense?
No, I mean, we're looking to improve. You know, I mentioned, I mean, those are areas that I want to see us be better in is our run defense, is our in our run game. We have to run the ball better on offense, more effectively. And so those are areas we want to get better. Then we're really breaking down our special teams and working, you know, on fundamental drills that are going to improve us in that area as well. So, you know, those are the things that we're really focusing on. We are game planning Boise State. We started that yesterday. And I just believe on these bye weeks that, you know, whenever you can get started on your upcoming opponent, you get 2 weeks to work on them. You need to take advantage of that. So, yeah, we started on Boise this morning, you know, introduced their schemes to our offense and defense and special teams, and we'll continue to work on them, you know, these next 2 weeks.
And I know it's early, but how do you think this team stacks up with the rest of the Mountain West? It kind of seems like an arm race right now, especially in that West division.
No, I said it before the season. You know, I know we got a lot of attention because we have a lot of players back, but I don't think you know what people have until they start playing. And you know, there's no question that, you know, our division has got some quality teams in it and a lot of firepower. You know, I've been impressed from afar with obviously what San Diego State and Fresno are doing. You know, every week they're scoring points, and every week they're rising up to the challenge so far. But it's in early season. You know, it really is going to be week to week who can prepare and who can get themselves ready to play. And you're going to have to do it every week. If you're not ready to go and you're not playing your best, you can get beat every week. And so, you know, we understand that as a team. You know, the things that we did not do well Saturday, we cannot let happen again, because we're going to play, you know, quite frankly, we're going to play a lot more diverse offenses than we played Saturday. You know, when we play Fresno, and we play some of the teams in our league, they have very good quarterbacks, excellent receivers, and very diverse offenses. And so we're going to have to play much, much better as we move into our league.
You mentioned the recruiting aspect of this week. How has recruiting changed since you guys have had a bit more success and started to develop some of these guys who are getting NFL buzz? And you know, I know you can't comment specifically on players, but how is this class going so far?
I tell you, it's been great, Chris. And I think, you know, we've had some success, obviously played in bowl games, and then just probably the notoriety that Carson's getting nationally, I think really helps us. It helps us in different parts of the country than, you know, we're recruiting in the South right now. We're recruiting obviously in the state. We've had some really positive responses in the north and south of the state, and also you know, obviously in California. But you know, just the recognition of the success that Carson's had has really helped us with the quarterbacks. You know, quarterbacks are looking at Nevada as a place where they believe they can come and learn how to play the position. And we're going to give them an opportunity to throw the football and play great competition. Same thing with wide receivers. We're getting a lot of success with receivers because they see what Romeo's doing and Elijah and Cole. And so we're getting a great response. We're really in on players that we haven't been able to get in on. And this is an important week. You know, we haven't been able to get on the road for over a year and to actually go to high schools and see games. I had a chance to go to a local high school game 2 weeks ago, And it was great just to get out and see the coaches and the players. And there's nothing like Friday Night Lights. But our coaches will really spread out all over the country and get into our areas this week and really get a chance to shake hands with coaches and see players in person. So this is a big week for us and that's the other reason I like having a bye week in September, is because we can go out and see kids and recruit this week.
You guys are 3-1 coming off a bye in your tenure here. I mean, how much of an advantage is that going into a game, especially a huge game against Boise State? Is there a tactical edge to that, or do your guys feel pressure because of that, or is that kind of overblown by the media?
No, I think we have a real good plan on bye weeks. We really try to identify certain things that we want to get better on, and we really focus and work on those. Yeah, I mean, the other thing is I think we don't beat our kids up. We understand that this is an opportunity to get our kids healthy. And I learned a long time ago, when you lose a tough game, you can't take it out on the players and the coaches and everybody. I mean, you got to learn from the loss. You have to correct the loss, and you got to have, some energy and go back to work. And if I mope around and everybody else mopes around. So, I try to be upbeat, positive, and get back on the saddle. And you have to do that. You can't let losses linger with you. And so I think it's just because of our approach, and we're excited to get back on the field with our players and help them get better. And, we are in no pads. We don't make drastic changes to our schedule after we lose. It's not like we're going to go out there and make them run sprints and keep them out there all day just because we didn't play as well as we could have Saturday. So, I just think that has a positive effect over the course of the year. And, we look at this as a long season, and we have to continue to get better and keep our focus and try to find areas where we need to make incremental improvements as we move through the season.
Is that all for Coach?
I've got a couple more. Just with Boise State coming up, I mean, this is a big rivalry for this area. This is not a game that the Wolfpack has won very often over the years. I mean, I guess, what does this rivalry mean to you? I know you don't get to play them every year, which is kind of disappointing, but it would be big for this community to beat Boise State.
No, obviously, whenever you come into a conference, there's certain teams that, garner respect and because of their reputation, their success. And if you're going to have success in this league, you're going to have to beat the top teams in the league. And certainly Boise has been one of those, and then you have the whole history of Nevada and Boise. And, I've had many conversations with Coach Alt about just the history of Boise and how they've developed as a program. And Nevada had quite a bit of success before Boise had success. And there's no reason why our program can't be a great program consistently. When I came to Nevada, I was so excited because we're right on the border of California. All those kids that Boise recruits, they have to fly over Reno to get to Boise. And so, from our standpoint, I don't know why we shouldn't be one of the top programs in our league and have a chance to do it consistently. It does mean a lot, the history of the games and the rivalry games between Nevada and Boise. I know we haven't won up there in many years. And, every time I go up there, their press reminds me of that. But we just won on the blue turf in this bowl game. Our kids are familiar with it. And, we're excited to play them. The last time we played Boise, it was a barn burner game. And we probably should have won the game. They made a great play on 4th down here in Mackey to keep the last drive alive. But all our kids were babies and they didn't back off. Toa was young. All of our receivers were young. Romeo was in that game. And so we're excited to play them. We look forward to the challenge, and, they've been one of the better programs in our league, and we want to be one of the better programs in the league. So to do that, we have to win games like this, and to win on the road is really important for us here at Nevada. And so, you know, I get a little bit tired of those people asking me those questions up there, and so we'd like to go up there and play well and do something about it.
How have you seen teams defend your pass attack differently from the start of last year to now? It just seemed like Kansas State was not gonna let you guys go deep.
Yeah.
Outside of that one deep ball to Romeo, and I know you had the trick play that went for quite a few yards, but how has the defense kind of changed, and what does Carson, I guess, need to do to still continue to make those deep plays with that change?
Yeah, it's you know, we've seen that, and actually Kansas State went to a 3-down front and played 5 across, which is a defense that Iowa State's done a lot in the Big 12, and it's really forced spread offenses. And one of the things, it's kind of an optical illusion because they have umbrella 3 safeties deep, but when you do run the ball, they all run down and try to hit the back, and so it's just a little bit unusual. You know, Hawaii did that to us a little bit. And what we really have started to see a lot of is people trying to roll up and double cover Romeo and not allow Romeo to run deep because he had so much success last year. So it forces us to be more patient. It forces Carson to throw the ball underneath. And it also forces us to run the ball, run screens, and quick game more. And so what happened Saturday is we just really got into a bad rhythm of poor complementary football. The simple fact of our defense, you know, not playing as well against the run, them keeping the ball away from us. And then when we get it, we have to be really patient. We can't score on big chumps because they're playing so deep. So it's a bad combination. And you know, we have to do a better job of, you know, of being patient, running the football, and taking those shots when we get them. The one shot that we actually did hit him on, we put Romeo inside. He was inside in the slot, and they really weren't prepared for him to do that. And he made the big play downfield, a great throw and catch by Carson and Romeo. So, you know, it's something that we're going to see. Hawaii did it to us last year, and this game was almost exactly like Hawaii. And Hawaii was ball controlling, limiting our possessions, and playing that blanket coverage and really forcing us to kind of dink and dunk down the field. And we basically ran out of time in that game. And, you know, except for the late scores, it was very similar in this game.
Generally speaking, can you just talk a little bit about Burdell Robbins and just what the value he's brought to this program and to your secondary over the last couple of years?
Just, you know, Burdell's one of my favorite guys. He was in our first recruiting class, and, you know, we have certain height limits and kind of measurements that we look for. And if you don't fit those, you kind of have to be special. And Burdell is that kind of guy. You know, he plays with so much confidence and so much swagger, and just, you know, when you look at that, there's a picture of a kitten sitting in front of a mirror, and when he looks in the mirror, he sees a lion. That's Burdell. Okay, he just has such huge confidence, and what an amazing kid. He's been through so many tough struggles, losing a couple of brothers while he's been here at Nevada, and you know, we didn't know if he's going to make it. You know, we really didn't. You know, the adversity that he's had to overcome, and his attitude every day. It's just at practice. He's one of the hardest working guys we have, and so unselfish. Some of his best effort plays are on special teams. You know, he holds up the gunners on the punt, and he just absolutely dominated a couple guys on Saturday. And I showed the clips to the team this morning. But just a great guy, does so much for his community back there in South Central LA, and really has taken some negatives in his life and tried to turn them into positives for his community. And just what a great example for the rest of the guys. So proud of Burdell.
Just last thing, were you surprised when he asked you if he could be number 0?
0. You know, I laughed when he asked me. I said, "You are the only guy on the team that I would let wear 0." And just because of his personality. And but yeah, he's worn it proudly, and I did get a kick out of that when he asked me.